were talking about last week's rally. It got some believers just because of the force of it and the fact that it came, with a lot of excuses to maybe go down further, and it didn't, given what the Fed was up to and all the rest of it. How are you trying to, I guess, take advantage of some of the volatility we've had? You had probably, half of all stocks down 20% or more from a high, so there seemed to be a lot to choose from.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think we're out of the woods. I think volatility is here this year. We're all going to be very data dependent to see what exactly the Fed, can they engineer a soft landing? What does inflation mean to overall growth? And how much does growth slow this year? And we have already thought that growth was going to slow just because the fiscal and monetary policies that were put in place over the last 2 years is going away. So I thought this year was going to be a slower year, but clearly we have a lot of these other issues, and not to mention, obviously, Ukraine and Russia. So to me, last week was interesting because you had not only the markets rally, but you had growth over value rally. Russell 1000 growth outperformed the Russell 1000 value by 500 basis points last week alone. Now, year to date, value is still outperforming growth. So it is kind of this uncertain time. I'm looking for opportunities. I did add to Boeing last week, unfortunately, but I also added to Wells Fargo and Bank of America, and Fortinet I actually added back into the portfolio because I thought the stock being down 16% year to date was an opportunity. For me, Mike, I'm underweight tech, but I have actually been adding to tech and adding to growth on this pullback to more balance my portfolio.
Fortinet kind of just brings up the point, and you mentioned growth's outperformance last week. Some are looking at that and saying, well, it's the hardest hit stuff that just rallied from depressed levels. Yeah. It doesn't seem like, therefore, there's a lot of an earnings or macro message in it. Does it give you a little bit of pause about the nature of the comeback at this point?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really trust it, to be honest with you. As I say, I think this year is a year of we're data dependent on the economy and what's going to happen and how much do we slow in terms of the growth. But if we do see slower growth, Mike, that I think anyway that growth will outperform value. So I have been more in the cyclical camp for the last year and a half, and it's worked. But now you have these opportunities, and that's why I say Fortinet, cybersecurity is certainly, network firewall is certainly something that I really like a lot. It's a $5 billion total addressable market. And again, the stock was down 16% year to date. And so I thought it was an opportunity. But, I've been adding to Facebook as well. I've been adding to Apple. So to me, I'm trying to, as I mentioned, when I'm trying to balance my portfolio, I don't think you want to be too over your skis this year in terms of sectors and being overweight, big bets because of this volatility. But you want to take advantage, certainly, of the pullbacks. And that's where I see it actually in tech. And I also see it in healthcare as well.